Okay, Pezza, now we're getting into some defending champions. Not current defending champions, but teams that have won the tournament before. And let's talk about this time previewing Sri Lanka's chances for the 2023 World Cup. This is brought to you by Cricket.com. Go and download the Cricket.com app right now if you fancy it. There's everything you've ever needed on the Cricket.com app. You go to the App Store, Cricket.com. You know how the internet works. Go and download their app and download. Who I think actually... No,
it's a love child between Ray Warren and Brad Hodge. Everyone will get that.
Okay, Sri Lanka, Pezza. Sri Lanka. Their first game is against South Africa in Delhi.
That's big.
That is a tasty fixture. Now, that to me, that's World Cup. First of all, great jerseys for both sides. I'm going to enjoy that.
And I like the colour contrast between both teams.
Me too. I like that a lot.
Important note.
Okay, now, Sri Lanka, their squad has been announced, and they're going to miss Chamira and Hasaranga. Yeah. Chamira with a torn pec.
Yeah.
Hasaranga with a string. Both out of the World Cup. That means Dasan Shanaka will captain the side who hasn't been able to get off the square for a few months. 67 ODIs, averages 22, batting at 7 from Shanaka. So that ain't ideal. Also, just in the injury concerns for the bowlers, returning from injury for Sri Lanka is Tikshana. He's returning from a hamstring. Madhushankar, torn oblique, and Kumara missed the entire Asia Cup with a side strain. So that's not ideal, but... Is there something that you like about Sri Lanka? What do you like?
I like that they always do better than I expect them to do, or that they do on paper. I mean, we thought the Asia Cup would be an India-Pakistan final, which it only has been 2 out of 17 times in the Asia Cup, because Sri Lanka invariably outperform people's expectations. Here they did again. Sure, knocked over for 50. In the final, which wasn't ideal, but played some pretty solid cricket before then. These guys know their way around a 50-over fixture in Asia, in India, and I think that's a reason why. Again, I can see them doing some damage. You know, Hasaranga, big loss. I think X Factor player, genuine superstar on the global stage. Middle overs is going to be so important. Lower order hitting is going to be really important. That hurts. But again, I still think that these guys they have a bit of World Cup success in their DNA. You go through their history in the World Cup, they always win more games than you expect them. They also have, they've won it before. And they're playing, pretty close to home. So
I think that there is this possibility where you get into the last 2 games of the tournament for each team, and Sri Lanka are right there and can get themselves in a position where they can make that final for the semi-finals. I just look at their batting, and there is genuine match winners in the batting. They got Nasanka and Kusal Pereira, who will open the batting for them. They got Kusal Mendes at 3, Asalanka at 5, Dhananjaya at 6, Patarana, a key bowler for them as well. There are guys that have literally won games of cricket for their country and for like IPL franchises, we know is a fantastic standard. It's literally in a different format, but I see match winners for Sri Lanka. I see match winners, and of all the teams that are like going to be in the mix that will have sort of X Factor players, I think the X Factor players will thrive in these conditions so long as they're on song. There you go. What a prediction that is. If they're on form, these guys could do something. Wow. Okay. What a preview that is.
Looking at the thing with Sri Lanka for me is like they obviously don't have a star-studded team relative to like some of the big 3. They don't have a team full of guys that just have dominated, the IPL or ODI cricket to this point. I mean, they got into the whole World Cup by a bee's dick, anyway. But like, they strike me as the sort of team where if the fixtures fall a certain way, more fancy teams struggle early. If you then come up against Sri Lanka in a game where, and I've mentioned shit tip on every single show. I mean, there might be roads, but like, it's not a team I'd want Australia to play mid-tournament if Australia's looking for a win. Do you know what I mean? Like 100%. If Sri Lanka just choking you through the middle overs again, starting well, I just think they have good experience and like I said, know their way around a 50-over game. Yeah,
100%. I'm just trying to find the...
I got the fixtures in front of me.
The run of fixtures, can you just give them to me?
Yeah, so they kick off their campaign, if I can read, against South Africa in the fourth game on Saturday. It's South Africa, then Pakistan, Pakistan, then Australia, then the Netherlands, England, Afghanistan, India, Bangladesh, New Zealand. It's almost for them like they have because they're a mid-table team.
Yep.
You know, it's almost like they play a highly fancied team and then one that they could win, another highly fancied one they could win. So, you know, like so many of these teams, get off to a good start, put a little bit of leaderboard pressure on some of these teams.
Yep.
They could, you know, they could really find themselves in the mix. I've got full respect for what Sri Lanka can do.
I think like there is every chance that they could win games. Or they could win I fancy South Africa in that first game in Delhi, but I think they can beat Pakistan in Hyderabad. I think they can beat Australia in Lucknow, and they can definitely beat the Netherlands in Lucknow as well. That's before they get to England, but then they play Afghanistan. I can just see them just being, with a couple of games ago, just being right there in the mix. We've seen it before. They literally won an ODI series against Australia in Sri Lanka, which is obviously different conditions entirely, different region. Well, similar-ish region, but a different country. But I can just see something from those guys, and I don't know. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments what you think Sri Lanka is going to do this World Cup. Are there runs? Are there runs up top? Is there an amazing bowler? Is Patarana going to be the leading wicket taker of the entire fucking tournament? Let us know in the comments. That's Sri Lanka. Can they do it again? Can they win their second ever World Cup?